Prophet ﷺ in Hunayn. He said, Wallahi, the Arabs didn't see a braver moment than that moment when the Prophet ﷺ, 60 years old, rushed towards the enemy on his animal with his sword against an enemy of 10,000 soldiers alone. Until his uncle Al-Abbas saw him running alone, so he rode behind him and tried to pull the horse and started shouting to the Sahaba, Ya Ma'ashar al-Muhajirin, Ya Ma'ashar al-Unsuru Rasulullah, Unsuru Rasulullah, O Muhajir and Ansar, come and defend the Messenger of Allah, he's alone against 10,000. So when they heard the call, come and defend the messenger, they immediately turned back and they started coming. Now that stand actually, there were only 12 people with him. When everybody ran away, there were only 12 left with him. Abu Bakr and Umar and Osman and Ali and Bilal and Salman and Suhaib and I think Talha and Zubair. 12 of them, their names are in the books of Sirah. They and Al-Abbas. And he rushed towards the enemy alone. Al-Muslim will be the Humran battle. Indeed, the battles would leave the white horses red with the blood of the enemy. And indeed, وَالْكَاتِبِينَ بِسُمْرِ الْخَطِّ, indeed, their pens, their swords were like pens, writing with a red ink on the paper of the body of the enemy. So he says the body of the enemy was like paper, and the swords of the believers were like pens, and the ink was red that day. It's referring to these battles, how bravely they used to fight. Remember, Hussein is writing this to encourage the Muslims towards jihad fi sabilillah as well. Why? Because he lived at a time when the Crusades were starting. And you had millions of soldiers from Europe invading the Muslim lands, Palestine, Egypt, everywhere, landing in hundreds of thousands. And Muslims are running away and getting defeated and getting cowardly. It was a time when people need to be motivated to fight back and defend their lands. So he's writing in that age period. So that's why he's describing jihad and the bravery of the Sahaba like that, to motivate the mu'mineen to stand up and fight against the enemy. شاك السلاح لهم سيما تميزهم والورد يمتاز بالسيما عن السلم. Bristling with arms was a quality that distinguished them, just like a rose differs from a salam tree. So it's like they were like roses with the blood of the injuries on them and always walking with their weapons. تهدي إليك رياح النصر ينصرهم فتحسب الزهر في الأكمام كل كم. The winds of victory would bring you their fragrance, and each of them were like a flower bud in his beauty and his valor. كأنهم في ظهور الخيل نبت ربا من شدة الحزم لا من شدة الحزن. As if when riding their steeds, their horses, they were like flowers blossoming on top of the horse. Yet steadfast and firm, not withering, because flowers can wither also like that, but they will be steadfast. طارت قلوب العدا من بأسهم فرقا فما تفرق بين البهم والبهم. The enemy's hearts would tremble when they would see them. You couldn't say the warrior from the sheep when they would come to fight. You couldn't make out the warrior from the sheep because they would run like sheep. They would come as warriors, the enemy, and when they see the Sahaba, they run away like sheep. Then he says the secret. He says, وَمَنْ تَكُنْ بِرَسُولِ اللَّهِ نُصْرَتُهُ إِنْ تَلْقَهُ الْأُزْدُ فِي أَعْجَامِهَا تَجِمِّي. And whosoever is supported by the Messenger of Allah, even if the lions see him, they would bow down to him, even if they were in their own den. Whoever is supported by Allah's Rasul has the dua and the support of Rasulullah with him. Even if he meets a lion in his den, the lion will bow down to him. And this is based on a true story. Safina, the khadim of the Prophet ﷺ, his name was Zakwan, by the way. He's called Safina because he used to carry stuff and he used to get very tired. Ya Rasulullah, I'm tired. So I made dua of quwwah, dua of strength for him. After that, he would carry the load of 5 people. Until people would carry him, are you a man or are you a Safina? You all know what Safina means? Ship. So he became known as Safina. One day he got lost in one of the battles. And in the desert, he doesn't know where he is and what. He sees a lion coming towards him in the desert. He gets scared. So when the lion comes in, what do you do now? He's looking at the lion. What do I do? Really, what do you do when he's a lion? I don't know, you run, you stand still. And they say you should just stand still. Allahu A'lam. But it's difficult, They asked one of the Shaykh, if you are making salah in the jungle and a lion come towards you, should you continue making salah or are you allowed to break your salah and run? So the Shaykh said, my son, if you're making salah in the jungle and a lion comes towards you, if you can still keep your wudu after that, then continue with the salah. Otherwise, run for your life. But the best thing to do, our shuyukh really said, is to recite salawat on the Nabi. He said, because when you recite salawat, you are in Allah's protection. So, when the lion came towards Sayyidina Safina radiallahu anh, he saw the lion, he just said to him, قِفْ يَا أَبَا الْحَارِثِ فَأَنَا سَفِينَةَ مَوْلَى رَسُولِ اللَّهِ وَخَادِمَ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ. He said, stop, O lion, for I am Safina, the servant of Rasulullah. I am the servant of the Prophet ﷺ. So the hadith says that the lion looked at him and then he bowed down and he turned around and he started wagging his tail. In other words, follow me. Safina said, okay, let me go. So he started walking there and the lion walked and walked until the lion brought him right there where he could see the caravan of the Prophet ﷺ. Imagine having a lion as your GPS. The lion guided him back to the Prophet ﷺ. So when Busayri says, "Man takun bi Rasulillahi nusratuhu in talqa al-uzdu fi ajami," it's not exaggeration. It's true. And our shuyukh used to like this couplet to be written on a piece of paper and they used to keep it on them when they go in dangerous spaces. So they used to write this one on a paper and they used to keep it with them, you know. وَمَنْ تَكُنْ بِرَسُولِ اللَّهِ نُصْرَتُهُ إِنْ تَلْقَهُ الْأُسْدُ فِي أَعْجَامِهَا تَجْرِي. Even the lions will be scared of them. So Amir Abdul Qadir, the great warrior, Mujahid of Aljazair, of Algeria, this couplet used to be written on his flags when he used to fight France. He fought the French for 25 years in Aljazair, Amir Abdul Qadir al-Jazairi. On his flags, وَمَنْ تَكُنْ بِرَسُولِ اللَّهِ نُصْرَتُهُ. And the one who is supported by the Messenger of Allah, even the lions bow down to him. وَلَنْ تَرَى مِنْ وَلِيٍّ غَيْرَ مُنْتَصِرٍ بِهِ وَلَا مِنْ عَدُوٍ غَيْرَ مُنْقَسِمٍ. For indeed, no one takes his support except that he shall be victorious, and no one fights against him except that he shall be humiliated. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Nobody is supported by him except that they shall be victorious, and nobody fights against him except that they will be humiliated. أحل أمته بحفظ ملته كالليث حل مع الأجبال في أجمه. You know why? He says because he surrounds, he sleeps in the middle of his ummah like a lion sleeps in between his cubs. You see, there are bigger animals that want to come attack the cubs, but when they come near the cubs, when they see the big lion sleeping in the middle, the cubs, he sees the lion and he runs away. So he says, our Nabi is between his ummah like the lion between the cubs. He is a protector of all his cubs. أحل أمته بحفظ ملته كالليث حل مع الأجبال في أجمه. In his den كم جدلت كلمات الله. He says, اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد. نعم. كم جدلت كلمات الله من جدل. How often have the words of Allah thrown down those who contended with them? وَكَمْ خَصَمَ الْبُرْهَانَ مِنْ خَصِمِ. And how he would defeat opponents. Sometimes just in an argument, they come to fight him, but in one word he chases them away. Like the man that came one day in the Ghazwat Khatfan, he went to Najd to fight, and he was, they all took a break and they all went to sleep. There were trees there, so that everybody rest for a while, and everybody went to sleep under a tree. The Prophet hung his sword on the branch of the tree, and he's sleeping there, and then he hears a sound. And he opens his eyes, and he sees one of the enemy guys. You know them from their dress and all that. He took the sword of the Prophet and he looks at Rasulullah. He's by the head. He says, "Man yahmika minni ya Muhammad." He says, "Oh Muhammad, who can protect you from me now? Who's going to save you now from me?" Everybody is sleeping. All the Sahaba sleeping under the trees. Everybody's swords is hanging. The Prophet is laying. He looked at him and said, "Allah. Allah will save me." So he said, "Who's going to save you from me now, Muhammad?" He said, "Allah." So the third time the man said, "Who can save you from me now, Muhammad?" So he says, "Allah." So when the third time the Prophet said, "Allah," the sword fell down from the hand of that man and he started shivering, trembling from the ru'b and the fear. And the sword fell down. And then the Prophet ﷺ got up and picked up the sword. And he said, "Who's going to save you from me now? Man yahmika minni now. Now what's going to happen?" He said, "No," and he started shivering and scared, and then he sat down. And he sat down there like, Like, in other words, kill me or whatever. And then the people heard what's going on and they got up, what's going on, what's going on? They all came, Ya Rasulullah, what happened? Who's this guy? So Sallallahu said, he came from the mountain, from the enemy. And he wanted to kill me. Alhamdulillah, Allah saved me. I said, Umar is like, can we kill him? Can we get rid of him? Qatil. So Sallallahu said, no. Leave him. He said, Ya Rajul, go back to your people. See the forgiveness. See that. It's amazing, the majesty, the power, yet the softness and the forgiving, the way they, I don't know what's the word there, but the way they rotate in the personality of the Prophet. One stand is the might. Who's going to protect me? Allah will protect me. I'm not scared of you. This guy standing with the sword on your head. Says Allah, he's not scared at all. There's that bravery like steel. And at the same time there is the softness of the flower. Just, Ya Akhi, go away. Go away. Go back. Forgiveness. That's it, He went back. Sahaba were like, Ya Rasulullah, we should have kept him, we should have tied him up hostage. He said, just go, let him go away. He went back and his tribe told him, what happened? Did you kill him? Because he told the tribe, I see they're all sleeping there. They noticed from far they're all sleeping. He said, well, you know what? I'm going to go and kill Muhammad and finish this once and for all. I know how he looks like. So when he went back, they said, did you kill him? Did you kill him? He said, oh people, I went to kill him because I believed he was the worst of people. That's why I wanted to kill him. I believe this is the worst man. But I come back to you and I want to tell you that Muhammad is the best of people. I haven't seen a man like him. He's the best of people. And I see it's better if you don't fight him. We rather come to an agreement with him. Do not fight him. So, even Rahmah, and sometimes there's victory in that. كفاك بالعلم, he says, and كفاك بالعلم في الأمي معجزة في الجاهلية والتأديب في اليتم. Now he concludes the discussion on miracles. He says, enough miracle for him is such knowledge in the age of ignorance. You know how much knowledge came from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? How much knowledge? Read the Hadith, read Riyadh al-Salihin, read Bukhari, Muslim, Sirah. How much knowledge came from that man? He says enough miracle for him is such amount of knowledge and wisdom in the age of ignorance and such refinement and character for a boy with no parents. Such refinement and akhlaq for a boy who was an orphan. Usually today what happens in the world, when you find a criminal, a rapist or a killer, what do? He came from a broken family, he didn't have a dad, his mother was never there, he grew up on the streets, Usually these are considered like the background of criminals, and that's why he went the way his heart was so hard, because of the hardness of life. So Busayri says it is enough miracle for Rasulullah that from an orphan to come out with such character and refinement and forgiveness and akhlaq and generosity. Usually an orphan is not generous, he's stingy because he grew up like that, nothing to eat. So he's got vengeance, hatred because he never had parents. So, these things may happen. Miracle that Rasulullah as an orphan, he came out the most refined of men, and as an unlettered person in Jahiliyyah, he came out the most intelligent and the wisest of men. Allah. Addabani Rabbi fahsana ta'dibi. The Prophet said, Allah taught me my manners and he taught me well. And my knowledge, what I know, وَعَلَّمَكَ مَا لَمْ تَكُنْ تَعْلَمُ. Allah said, oh Muhammad, I taught you everything you need to know. That's why he didn't need to read and write. Unlettered. Why? Because reading and writing are not goals. They are means to a goal. They are means to a goal. What's the goal of learning how to read and write? To have knowledge. You hear something, you write, you read it, you write it. You hear a lecture, you're all taking notes, knowledge. You're reading a book, knowledge. Reading and writing are methods to achieve knowledge. The Nabi ﷺ didn't need those tools. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught him everything directly. He doesn't need those means. Why do I need a pen? What book did Rasulullah read? Nothing. What book did he write? Nothing. Allah taught him that ilmul ladunni وَآتَيْنَاهُ مِنْ لَدُنَّا عِلْمًا وَعَلَّمَكَ مَا لَمْ تَكُنْ تَعْلَمْ وَكَانَ فَضْلُ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكَ عَظِيمًا. Everything was taught to him. So then we go to the 9th chapter. If you said it's 9 and 10, so we'll go over them inshallah. So we can conclude by Maghrib. You still have time inshallah till Maghrib, about 15 minutes. So now in the 9th chapter he comes to the intercession part. After all the praise, now he comes to what he wants to say, his personal. And that's the other. You don't walk in by a king or a great man and start blah, 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 whatever your personal needs are. First you show the other, you seek forgiveness, you praise them. In the end, even with the kings, after you praise him, in the end you say, and may I mention something I want to say. So that's the other. In the 9th chapter he says what he wants to say now. His personal problem. خَدَمْتُهُ بِمَدِيحٍ أَسْتَقِيلُ بِهِ ذُنُوبُ عَمْرٍ مَدَافُ فِي الشِّعْرِ وَالْخِدَمِ. He said, I have served him with a poem of praise, hoping to seek forgiveness of a lifetime spent in sin and wrongdoing. I now write a poem praising him, hoping that it will gain me forgiveness for a lifetime spent in sin and vain. Poetry, it is all lies and nonsense. Indeed, the sins that I committed humiliated me and showed me consequences that I fear. And they made me like a sheep with no guidance, like a sacrificed animal, ready to be slaughtered by my sins. I come to Rasul like that, in that condition. In both errors, I only followed the delinquency of my young youth and its desires. I just followed my desires, dunya, money, fame, power. And all I gained was sins and regrets. All I gained out of following my nafs was sins and regrets. فَيَا خَسَارَةَ نَفْسٍ فِي تِجَارَتِهَا. How bad, how my transaction of the nafs what I lost. How bad was the transactions I made with the nafs. لَمْ تَشْتَرِ الدِّينَ بِالدُّنْيَا وَلَمْ تَسُمِ. I should have bought my deen by selling my nafs, but I did the other way around. I sold my deen to get the pleasure of the dunya. I should have sold my dunya to take the deen and get rid of my dunya, but I gave up my deen to get the dunya. Many people give up the deen to gain the dunya. They leave the deen and what it says to gain the dunya. So what we should be doing is give up the dunya to seek to get the deen. But whosoever sells the hereafter for now and what you for temporary benefits, sooner or later he will see the loss he has made in that deed. Whoever sells the deen, the hereafter, the akhirah, for the sake of benefit of the dunya, sooner or later he will see the loss in that deed he has made. Don't ever sell your deen to get some benefit in the dunya. Never, your akhirah, you hold on to it. Never give it up for anything. Rather give up the dunya, but don't give up the akhirah. But then he says, hope. He regret and hope. In aati zamban fama ahdi li muntaqidin min al-nabi wa la habli munsarbi. But yet, if I commit sins and do wrong, but nevertheless, my contract and my connection with the Prophet is not broken off. Although I commit sins, although I do wrong, but I have not broken my love to him, my connection with him. I still have a connection to him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Although I do wrong, I know I do wrong things. It's like he's saying, Ya Rasulullah, I know I do a lot of wrong things, but I still love you. I still love you, Ya Rasulullah. Like you tell me, Mom, many a times I don't listen to you, I disobey you, and I do these things, but I still love you, Mom. So he says, Ya Rasulullah, I still love you. I still have that connection to you. And if nothing else, if all my claims of love are fake, there is still one connection I have to him that can never be fake. فَإِنَّ لِي زِمَّةٌ مِّنْهُ بِتَسْمِيَتِي مُحَمَّدًا وَهُوَ أَوْفَى الْخَلْقِ بِالزِّمَمِ. And that is that my name is Muhammad. And at least if nothing else, even if I say I love you and you reply and say, come on, that's a fake love, man. Don't say that. That's not even true. Your love is a fake. Even if everything is fake in me, Ya Rasulullah, but come on, I still have a connection to you. What's that? My name is Muhammad. At least you're going to honor that I carry your name, Ya Rasulullah. That's why the people used to give the children the name Muhammad out of Muhammad for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Sayyid Abu Bakr said, Ya Rasulullah, and my wife is having a child and I want to name him after you, Muhammad. So he named him. Sayyidina Ali said, Ya Rasulullah, my wife, if I have a child after you, can I name him Muhammad? He said, yes. You compile a book on the amount of Sahaba that named their children Muhammad, out of love for the Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. And out of respect for that name, in the books of our, these encyclopedias of people, who's who, right? Like so they make a list of dictionary of everybody in Madina Institute, right? Everybody that ran this class, for example, you're going to start with A, right? Alphabetical order, A, B, C, D, because that makes it easier to find a name. In Islamic tradition, In all these books of Asma ur-Rijal, the names of people, they follow alphabetical order as well, alif, ba, ta, sa, but they make an exception. They always started with Muhammad. They put all the Muhammads first. Read, go check the books. They start the alif, ba after the Muhammads are done. But they put all the Muhammads first. It's a very fine thing, but look at that other. نبدأ بمحمد تبركا باسم رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. So they mention all the Muhammads in the class first, and then after that they'll start with A, B, C, D. But they mention all the Muhammads first. Adab with the name of the Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's a name that refuses to leave your mouth until you kiss it. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. You say Muhammad, you kiss the name. Before it leaves your mouth, you have to kiss it. محمد أنت ما أحلاك تسمية الله سماك والملائكة صلوا عليه. They said, Muhammad, your name was given from Allah because the name wasn't the true choice of man. The Prophet's mother was given that name in a dream. It means the praised one. So there are books written on the fadail of the name Muhammad itself. So it's a great name, and that's why our shuyukh used to say, don't name your children Muhammad and insult them after that. Some people are like, ya ta'ala ya Muhammad ya, you know, and the kalb ya, this is A'udhu billah. Never do that. There were shuyukh, there was some shaykh that he had 20 kids and he didn't name any of them Muhammad. People name kids Muhammad out of love. Why don't you name your kids Muhammad? He said, I fear I will call them Muhammad and swear at them. Meet my son Muhammad, he's the naughtiest of all. He said, or you Muhammad, you know, subhanallah, you shaitan, or whatever you want. You call your children that thing. He said, I'm scared to call him Muhammad and then call him anything ugly after that. That's why I don't name my child Muhammad. And that's why the shuyukh used to say, if you name your child Muhammad, rather name him Muhammad something. Like Asma al-Murakkaba, so that if you want to say bad things, you say to the other name, but not Muhammad. The Turks would say Mehmet. They were the Habash, they say Muhammad. Muhammad. I told one of the Habashis, what's this Muhammad? What's your name? He said Muhammad. I said, what is this Muhammad? He said, it's Muhammad, but our people don't like to say the actual name out of respect. So we say Muhammad. Allahu Alam, but anyways, we respect that name. It's a sacred name. We must have a lot of adab for that name. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. إن لم يكن في معاد آخذا بيده فضلا وإلا فقل يا زلة القدم. There's a joke about it. They say one guy said on the day there was a sinner, he used to do a lot of haram things. Every haram thing in the book he did, but his name was Muhammad, this guy. They said, how are you going to go to Jannah, ya Shaykh? Ya Rajul, oh man. On the day of, what are you going to do on the day of Qiyamah? You got nothing good you did. He was like drunk or whatever. He said, Ya Akhi, you know, on the day of Qiyamah, what's the first thing Allah is going to say when he enters Jannah? Of the hadith. He said, he's going to say, Udkhul ya Muhammad. He's going to say, enter O Muhammad. He said, when he says that, I'm going to jump in with the Prophet. Drunk guy, you know. He said, when Allah says, opens of Jannah will enter, it's hadith, the doors of Jannah will open, enter O Muhammad. He said, I'm just going to run there, you know. Muhammad, my name is Muhammad. He said, my name. But there is barakah in names, and I'm not saying just a name can make you enter Jannah, but it's a barakah in the name, and there's khair in the name. There was a man, his father named him, his father was not a practicing Muslim, he married a non-Muslim woman also, you know, one of those cases, and he didn't teach his children, he didn't follow any Islam on his own, nothing of Islam, not even Qul Allahu Ahad on the wall, you know, even that can sometimes connect people to Islam, you know. I got that from my dad, you know, it's the Quran. So the only thing though was, when he had a child from this baby, he named him Muhammad. Muhammad, that's it. And then he died, and the child grew up basically as a Christian and then atheist, because his dad is like from a Muslim background, the mother is a Christian background, and he is just in all the, you know. And the point I'm trying to make is that at a very late stage in life, this guy, one day he thought about it, they used to call him Mo. But one day he thought about the name Muhammad, and somebody asked him, what's your name? He said, Mo. What's your full name? Muhammad. What does that mean? I don't know, you know, I don't know what it means. My dad gave me that name, he was an Arab or something, you know. So this guy is not completely westernized, he got no idea. He said, but that question made me think that, what does it really mean? Why did my dad name me Muhammad? He went to study who was Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And subhanAllah, when he studied the Sirah, he was so overwhelmed. Wow, am I named after this guy? This man. And he accepted Islam because he wasn't a Muslim. He didn't make salah once in his life. His father didn't teach him even how to make salah. Those type of cases when you just go to the West and become kafir and forget about Islam. So he accepted Islam, and they said, how can you take Shahada when your name is Muhammad? When they went to the masjid, I was so ashamed to tell them, I want to take Shahada. Wow, welcome brother. What's your name? Muhammad. He said, are you a Muslim? He said, no. He said, the name brought me back to Islam. Give your children good names, man. There are people giving their kids names. You don't know if it's a Muslim name or a Christian name or a Jewish name. You can't make out. Give them names that will remind them who they are, where they come from. So he says, Wallahi, hashahu yahramu makarimahu. Hashahu. It is far be it from him that he will turn back anyone who comes to his door, or anyone should go back from his door dishonored. He will never let anybody go back empty-handed. And he said, وَمُنْزُ أَلْزَمْتُ أَفْكَارِ مَدَارِحَهُ وَجَدْتُهُ لِخَلَاصِ غَيْرَ مُتَّسِمٍ. By the way, this line, حَاشَاهُ, that it is far be it that he will let anybody go back from his door empty-handed. It is written on the door handle of the Prophet's maqam in Medina. If you enter from Bab Jibreel, you see the door of the Prophet's tomb. On the handle of that door, it's written this line of the Burdah. You can see it, if you turn that side. Hashahu, far be it that anybody will go back from his door empty-handed, or that he should send back anybody from his home disrespected or dishonored. Nobody will ever come to his house and go back dishonored. Nobody will ever come to his house with open hands and go back empty-handed. He said, and since I have devoted my thoughts to his praise, I have found them to be the best guarantee for my salvation. Since I am praising him and describing him, that is the best thing that ever happened to me. Because now I am busy with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And indeed, his bounty will not let go of a poor man like me. How will he ever let me go empty-handed? He said, and I have not come to ask for dunya. And that is what those who praise the king, Zuhair got when he praised Haram. Harim was a king in Arabia, and Zuhair had praised him and got a lot of money. He said, Ya Rasulullah, I come to you and I do not seek to you what Zuhair was seeking when he praised Harim. I seek to you something greater than that. That is the tawbah and the forgiveness and the shafa'ah on the day of Qiyamah. We come to the 10th chapter, the final chapter. In the 10th chapter, he directly addresses the Prophet ﷺ. He said, Ya akram al-khalqi mali manuzuhi, O most generous of creation, I have nobody to turn to but you on the day of the great catastrophe. Meaning the day of Qiyamah, I have no one to turn but you, Ya Rasulullah. Because as you know, on the day of Qiyamah, all the prophets will refuse to help anybody, except Rasulullah sallallahu will be the only one who will help all mankind. On that day, you are the only one I'm going to turn to, Ya Rasulullah. وَلَنْ يَضِيقَ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ جَاءُكَ بِإِذُ الْكَرِيمُ تَجَلَّى بِاسْمِ مُنْتَقِمِ Ya Rasulullah, and it will not lessen your rank if you could help a poor beggar like me. On the day when Allah manifests himself as al-Muntaqim, to take vengeance on his creation. On that day, Allah will show his anger to his creation. So on that day, Allah, Ya Rasulullah, it won't hurt you if you help a poor man like me. By the way, some copies of the Burdah write this word as tahalla, and that's a mistake. It is tajalla, not tahalla. Because tajalla means manifest himself as an avenger, not tahalla. Tahalla means when Allah beautifies himself as avenger. Avenger is not a quality of beauty. It's a quality of manifest when you show that side of you. So tajalla is, check out some Burdah copies, they write tahalla. It's tajalla. فَإِنَّ مِنْ جُودِكَ الدُّنْيَا وَضَرَّتَهَا مِنْ عُلُومِكَ عِلْمَ اللَّوْحِ وَالْقَلَمِ. So from your generosity covers the dunya and the akhirah, Ya Rasulullah. You are our savior in the dunya and you are our savior in the akhirah. And from your knowledge is the knowledge of the lawh and the qalam. Whatever the pen wrote on the tablet of destiny, it is all in your knowledge, Ya Rasulullah. And the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that himself. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala manifested himself to me and gave me the knowledge of everything. Alimtu kulla shay. Then he said, Ya nafsu la tafnati min zallatin azumat. Oh nafs, don't lose hope, don't despair over a sin that you committed, however great it was. Oh my nafs, don't despair over a sin that you committed, however big it was. إِنَّ الْكَبَائِرَ فِي الْغُفْرَانِ كَالْأَمَمِ. For even the greatest of sins are nothing in front of Allah's forgiveness. وَإِنَّ الْكَبَائِرَ فِي الْغُفْرَانِ كَالْأَمَمِ. They are nothing in front of Allah. And this is the hadith of the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He said, يَا ابْنَ آدَمْ إِنْ أَتَيْتَنِي بِقِرَابِ الْأَرْضِ مَعْصِيَةً أَتَيْتُكَ بِقِرَابِهَا مَغْفِرَةً. Oh my servant, if you come to me with an ocean full or an earth full of sins, I will come to you with an earth full of forgiveness. But you need to come to him, huh? If you come to me, I will come to you with an ocean full of forgiveness. Don't say, my sins are too big. Then he said, لَعَلَّ رَحْمَةَ رَبِّي حِينَ يَحْسِنُ وَتَأْتِي عَلَى حَسَبِ الْعِصْيَانِ فِي الْقَسْمِ. Who knows? Perhaps when Allah's mercy is distributed, He will turn all my sins into good deeds. And then the hadith where the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, there are people who make such a tawbah and become so muttaqi that Allah will turn all their sins into good deeds. And that's from Ahlul Maqamat. All the sins you did become good deeds. He said, who knows? Perhaps through Allah's mercy all my sins will be turned into good deeds. That's the raja we have in Allah's rahmah. Raja we have. I mean, the hadith sahih, a man when he didn't do anything good in his life, is in Bukhari, in Bani Israel, and everything bad. When he died, he said to his son, listen sons, when I die, just burn my body. They said, why? I don't want to ghusl and bury you. He said, no, I don't want to meet Allah, I'm too scared to meet Allah. I've done so much wrong and I've done nothing good, I'm too scared to meet Allah. The Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, that man, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala will order the malaika to gather his ashes and recreate him. And then Allah will ask him, oh man, why did you order your children to burn your body after you die? He said, Ya Allah, I was too scared to meet you. So he said that I have also made a promise to myself that I shall not punish anybody who is fearing of me. Anybody who is scared of me. Oh malaika, take him to Jannah. I have made a promise, حَقَّ عَلَيَّ أَنْ لَا أُعَذِّبَ أَحَدًا خَافَنِي, that I will not punish anybody who fears me. I won't punish. Hadith sahih. Then he says, Ya Rabbi waj'al rajai ghayra mun'akisin. Oh Allah, do not send back my hope unanswered and do not make my conviction thrown into disarray. وَاقْضُفْ بِعَبْدِكَ فِي الدَّارَيْنِ. Oh Allah, have mercy on your servant in this world and the next world. Because I have a patience, whenever it is tested, it fails. Ya Allah, I have a patience, but whenever it's tested, it fails. And then he says in the last verse of the Burdah, last two verses, وَأَذَنْ لِصَحْبِ صَلَاةٍ مِنْكَ دَائِمَةٍ. And then send clouds of your blessings upon your Prophet, pouring night and day. He said, send a cloud of salawat to pour like rain on your Prophet night and day. مَا رَنَّحَتْ عَزَبَاتُ الْبَانِ رِيحُ صَبَا. As long as the breeze continues waving the leaves on trees. وَعَطْرَبَ الْعِيسَ حَادِ الْعِيسَ بِالنَّغَمِ. And as long as the singers sing and entertain their camels. In those days, when the camels used to travel, the Arabs used to sing songs. Hadi. Hadi means the guy that sings a song for the camel. Hadi al-Is. Is means camels. And entertain them. Even the Prophet had that. He had an African guy, his name was Anjasha. And when the camels are slow, it's an Arab thing. When you sing, the camel starts running. Song even motivates the camel. You know. So Anjasha used to sing. And the Prophet is the Anjasha sing. But then sometimes Anjasha sings so nicely that the camel starts running so fast, and sometimes there's ladies sitting on the camels, and the camels moving very fast. So the Prophet ﷺ would say, Ya Anjasha, rifqan bil qawarir. You know, Ya Anjasha, take it easy on the ladies. Take it easy on the ladies. When he's singing, the camel is running so fast, it's moving too much. So he said, as long as the singers of the camels continue singing, may the salawat of Allah continue pouring on the Mustafa ﷺ. Till here is the end of the actual Burdah of Al-Busayri. There is some extra lines that people read after that were added by one great wali from Bayt al-Maqdis, from Jerusalem. He added that, but then they became so famous and so attached to the Burdah that they are with the Burdah, till today. Most people, 99% of people don't even know that these lines are from the original Burdah. And those are ثم الرضا عن أبي بكر وعن عمر وعن علي وعن عثمان ذي الكرم.